Today, it's all about Scotland, not Ireland, as you would think from our outfits.
From
but
the two of you.
Today, we're talking about Scotland, so here we go. Welcome to Tuesday Travel Chat. I'm your host, Julia from Go Travel, along with Bob Cook, also from Go Travel. And today, our special guest is Jeannie Bean, and we're going to be talking all about Scotland. So, Jeannie, talk to us. Why is it that Scotland is such a desired destination right now, and why are people wanting to go?
Since Game of Thrones, Scotland has been extremely popular with Game of Thrones, Outlanders, some of the Downton Abbeys have been filmed in the Scottish area as well. Unfortunately, with the passing of the Queen and her procedure, etc., that's just drawn a lot of people. They want to see the history. They want to see the beautiful hybrids. They want to see the upper area of Scotland. It's just filled with so much history and so much beauty and rugged scenery. And it really is a destination for everyone. There's something for everyone when you visit Scotland, in my opinion. People like to hike and camp within Scotland. Fishing's really big. Hunting's big as well. There's just a whole ancillary options available to visit Scotland.
Bob, also from your perspective, talking to so many of our clients and them coming in, what is it that you're seeing is bringing them in for this request?
Well, what I'm seeing people coming in for Scotland, number one, golf is a big destination, especially for people from Florida. So golf it's an important part. They want to know they may have a day or two, so we may bring them in a little early to golf. But we're seeing people that are looking more for the history, as you said, the Game of Thrones in particular, the history of the Highlands. The Queen Mother was born in Scotland. You have the islands, off of Scotland. It's a very rugged, beautiful, gorgeous scenery. The windswept Highlands are just beautiful. And that's what gets people to Scotland.
They've got to see it for themselves.
Yes,
right?
You definitely do.
Well, let's get a little inspiration before we jump into our featured itinerary with this little video.
Wasn't that video just beautiful? Doesn't it make you want to go to Scotland?
Yes, absolutely. Got to get there. So let's jump in right now with this Scottish Dream itinerary to show everybody a little bit of an example.
Scottish Dream is one of our most popular because it gives you an overall view of Scotland. It gives you the best of the best, in my opinion. With the route here, with the map that you're seeing, you can see exactly where you begin the tour, the number of nights you're in each of the destinations, as well as where you end the tour. You start in Glasgow and you end in Edinburgh. And as you can see, you travel all around the Scottish Isles, if you will.
So, Bob, talk to us how we get there.
Well, there's a couple of options. The one that I have found is really useful is if you're coming from Central Florida, fly to Dublin, go in a few days ahead, maybe do a little bit of, a sea in Dublin area, and then take the ferry over to Glasgow and then start your tour in Glasgow. It's a lot easier than having to fly to London, make a connection to get up to Glasgow. to do that, or to Manchester where there's a lot of flights. But it just gives you a little bit of a luxury of time.
I
I
agree with
like.
that, and you acclimate yourself
Yes.
to the time, and you're there early in case there's
Mhm.
any, heaven forbid, any airline
Right.
fiascos or
Yeah.
whatever.
You want to anything that's starting in a city that's not a major hub.
Hmm.
You really want to allow 2 days before, just in case there are any issues.
That's a great suggestion. I agree with that.
So,
Fantastic. So from Glasgow.
Yeah, the tour begins in Glasgow, and you have a city tour the very first day. That
mhm,
way, you can get an idea and overview of the city. You'll pass the universities. You'll visit the museum, where there's 22 different museums within this museum. You'll see art. You'll see taxidermy. You'll even see some artifacts from Egypt
Wow.
in this museum. And at the end of the day, you'll come back and you'll have dinner with your group, have a cocktail. You'll meet your guide, etc., and then you'll go on to your next day. The people of Scotland are what make Scotland, in my opinion. They're very friendly. They're very proud people. They want
mhm.
they will welcome you and provide you with history and anecdotes and anything that you may need to know about Scotland. It's like I said, it's the home of Outlanders, is very, very popular with Jamie. I keep hearing about Jamie. So it's a very, very popular show. And Scottish, there's so much history and so much to do in Scotland.
That's cool. No matter what you're looking for,
Right.
there's a lot of it, more than just kind of that meets the
Something for
eye.
everybody.
Yeah.
Exactly, something for, and this is quite unique. A lot of people think that the bagpipes began in Scotland. They actually started in Egypt and were brought
Oh,
over. Hence, why there's so much Egyptian artifacts within Scottish
Hmm.
museums is because of that. So they
wow.
were invented in ancient Egypt and they were brought over to Scotland.
Wow. Didn't know that.
That's
That's
really
very
interesting.
fascinating.
Yeah, I think it was
New tip for you,
new.
Yes,
Bob.
new
You're
one for
gonna
me.
add
New
to your
trivia.
facts.
The 16th century, Bob. Moving on to some of the castles, the Loch Ness, it contains more water than basically
Mhm.
any other lake in England and Wales combined. Still haven't heard of anyone seeing Nessie, but this is one of our features on this tour. Is you do get a beautiful boat ride
Mhm.
within the Loch Ness, and it's just stunning. Just the scenery, the mountains, the rivers, the lakes. It's just stunning. Moving on, this is something that's very popular within our tours. It's our sheep herding. The dogs are phenomenal. They are trained so well that they will round up the sheep. A lot of people love watching the sheepdog demonstrations, how
Mhm.
they're so trained to do that. The actual first sheepdog uh, took place in northern Wales in the 1800s. It's just a very, very popular, one of our most popular excursions that you see.
And I'm guessing maybe some Instagrammable moments there.
Very much so. Very
Also,
much.
shopping moments from what the end product of the wool.
That's
Scottish
true.
wool is
That's
That's
just
true.
absolutely beautiful.
I know that we do have some knitting
Yes, we
clients
do
out
have.
there
Mhm.
that may be interested too.
Yes, oh, I know we do.
And the wool provides them with the kilts and the sweaters and the scarves and just beautiful, like you said, just
Mhm.
the results
Yeah.
of what the dogs are doing.
Very neat.
Unfortunately, there's always one dog that never really wants to do his job. So you can see he would rather be part of the sheep than do what he was trained to do. But there's always one in the crowd. Call him the black sheep of the family, I
I
guess.
love it.
There we go. A lot of people think of Scotland for whiskey. One little trivia tip there for you in case you're doing a trivia contest: how you can tell if you're getting Scottish whiskey versus Irish whiskey or American whiskey is whiskey from Scotland has no E in it. So if you're reading a label and it's spelled Whisky, you know it's a genuine
Right.
product from Scotland. If it has an E in it, not so much.
And Americans don't ask for a scotch in
No.
Scotland. Ask for a whiskey.
Whiskey. That's
And
right.
ask for it neat, because they're going to look at you if you ask for ice.
You go, what? Exactly right, Bob. Exactly right. Probably the most famous sceneries in Scotland is St. Andrews, especially for golfers.
Oh, absolutely.
Golfers originated in the Middle Ages.
Yeah.
I never knew this till I worked for CIE Tours that at the beginning of St. Andrews, they had 22 holes of golf versus
Hmm.
18. Now everything's 18. Beautiful destination, beautiful place to go. You can walk the course. You can go into the clubhouse and have lunch, do the requisite shopping, bring everybody back their hats and shirts that said you've been to
Mhm.
St. Andrews.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, a picture of the Isle of Skye. The Isle of Skye is one of nearly about 800 islands within the Scotland. 130 of those are inhabited. But you can just see by this photo the beautiful, beautiful scenery
Mhm.
that you will experience when you're at the Isle of Skye in the northern part of Scotland. This will give you a little overview exactly what the tour
Mhm.
entails on the Scottish Streams. It's 8 days, 12 meals. Everything is a 4-star vacation, so our
Mhm.
hotels are 4-star plus, if you will. Some of the highlights, the top left picture is the distillery. There you go actually on, you see how the whiskey is made. You actually also get to do some tasting, so
Mhm.
you will have experience to see what they bring. This particular distillery, in addition to providing the whiskeys for Scotland and around Europe, they also provide their whiskeys for Johnny Walker. So the Johnny Walker
Oh.
brands here in the U.S. It'll still have the E on it when you have whiskey because it's being sold in the U.S., but it is Scottish whiskey.
Oh, wow.
Culloden is a site of the one of the famous battles. There were over 5,000 Jacobites that fought against over 8,000 of the British troops, and
Mhm.
unfortunately, the Jacobites didn't survive, but that is one of the most famous battlefields that you'll visit. Blair Castle. This was the home of one of the favorite homes. It dates back to the 13th century, actually, and it was one of the favorite places of Mary Queen of Scots. She used
Oh.
to love to go stay here within Skyland. And you have a cruise on Loch Lomond. You'll see some beautiful scenery. The lake is stunning. And if you're lucky, you may see Nessie. You'll be one of the first that has.
All
Yes.
right.
Moving on to St. Andrews. St. Andrews, obviously the home of golf. And Edinburgh Castle, stunning. Just a stunning, stunning, stunning castle. It's built on a volcanic rock. It's
Yeah.
high up in Edinburgh. You see the crown jewels there. Lot to visit. The military tattoo is held there in August,
Yeah.
and I think we'll talk about that a little bit
Mhm.
down the road. But that's a few of the tour highlights that you'll experience on the Scottish Stream.
Wonderful.
Some more tour highlights include Inverary Castle, dating back to the 15th century. You got the Isle of Skye highlights that we talked about previously. Diarmas Castle, that was the home of where Princess Margaret was actually born. So
Oh.
that was one of the favorite castles of Queen Elizabeth as well as her queen mother. They both
Mhm.
like to go
Very
there
cool.
much. And you have a Scottish evening where you have Scottish entertainment, dancing, and the Scottish meals.
So, Jeannie, talk to us also. I see about the free time.
Mhm.
A lot of people are concerned taking a group trip. Can you talk to us a little bit about that style and your pacing and all of that?
One thing we do is we are very cognizant of time. You're on the coach. You're on the coach for about an hour, hour and a half before we stop for a comfort break because we want you to be able to get a tea, use the
Mhm.
facilities if need be. Then we continue on. We do offer free time because we don't want it to be where you're on a strict schedule where you have to be here at 7, here at 8, here at 9. So we want you to be able to explore the destination on your own.
Mhm.
There may be excursions or maybe sightseeing things that you want to do that maybe the rest of the group does not
Mhm.
want to do.
Right.
So we do give you free time to explore that. And the driver guides are very seasoned. They're with us, I want to say an average about 35 years. So they can make recommendations. They're all local, so they know the destinations. You don't have to worry about being in Scotland and having a guide from Italy or being in one of our other destinations and having a guide that's not
Mhm.
relative to that destination itself.
Bob, talk about the Jacobite
Okay.
battle for us that don't
Okay.
maybe
Well, the
know.
Jacobite battle was simply the battle in which England, by defeating the Jacobites under King James, became the rulers of Scotland about 300 and some years ago. So that's when Scotland lost its true independence and became part of Great Britain.
Thank
The
you.
Jacobites,
Wonderful.
Jacobites.
James,
Thank
King
you for
James.
Pulling out the history there,
Oh
Bob.
yeah,
yeah.
got to pull it out from somewhere. What is the tattoo?
That tattoo has been around since the 1950s. It brings about 50 plus military bands to Edinburgh. They
Mhm.
put on a big regalia with songs and history and pageantry. I had a couple of colleagues that actually visited it last year. They said it was just phenomenal. It's
Mhm.
just a once in a lifetime
Yeah.
time visit, and it's in the courtyard within the castle.
If you're planning to try to go to the tattoo, though, that does need to be your tour needs to be booked early.
Yes, most
Uh,
definitely.
and if you're looking for 23, probably not available.
There may
But
be
you
a
need to
little,
play a little, but you need to look for 24
most definitely.
to if you want to get to the tattoo.
It is a very popular part of our tours to
Yes.
Scotland And it's only held in August, so
Yes.
that's important that you travel in that.
Which is the nicest time actually to be in Scotland.
Hence, exactly.
Thank you so much, Jeannie. Bob, any comments after all of that?
Well, Jeannie, I want to thank you, number one, for doing this presentation.
Pleasure.
I think this was an excellent overview of a great tour to Scotland. If you've not been to Scotland, it is well worth the trip. July, August, best times to go. September, it's going to get a little rainy, but you're really going to see a lot of, no matter what you do, you're going to see a lot of Scotland. And this is a great tour to do it.
And remember, if you're looking to book your next Scotland adventure, reach out to us at gotravel.com and we will connect you with a specialist who will help you customize. Like we said, maybe it's a guided tour, maybe it's something very custom to you. You tell us what it is that you're trying to do. Maybe you love golf, maybe you love knitting. We don't know. You tell us your passions, and we're going to create something phenomenal with you, and we'll work with Jeannie to do that. So thank you again, Jeannie. Any final thoughts today?
I just thank you so much for the opportunity to give you an overview of Scotland, and Go Travel is the best agency to work with. So thank you so much.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Jeannie.
Thank you, everybody. And we'll see you right here next week.
Bye.
Bye.